Hi, guys. I'm coming to you from outside today because it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm just having the best day. I've been painting birdhouses, so I'm wearing my favorite shirt, my work shirt. And I noticed when I started, I even have a little bit of paint here and there, but oh well. Anyway, I have a story I want to share with you that may not be a good bedtime story, but it was a pretty good rest and read story. That's what we called it at our house, mostly because Mama needed a rest. Anyway, um, it's called Airmail to the Moon. And it's been so loved that it's kind of falling apart. So if the pages go flying while I'm reading, I apologize, but it's only because it's been so well loved. Airmail to the Moon by Tom Birdseye and illustrated by Stephen Gamble. I like the illustrations as much as the story. This is To the Loose-Toothed Wonders of Sandpoint, Idaho. The Writers Protect and Always Debbie. The Writers Project. And always Debbie. My name is Airmail Cotton of Crabapple Orchard, and last night somebody stole my tooth. I'd been down at the creek catching crawdads when it started tingling, kind of like if you missed your toast and peanut butter and bit your teeth really hard instead. Well, that was 3 weeks ago. I was popcorn in the pan excited, for sure that tooth was going to fall out any second. But Dad-aw, that's what I call my daddy, always said not to milk the cow when she's asleep, which is crabapple orchard talk for not blabbing to everybody about something before you're sure of what you're blabbing about. So I didn't tell a soul. And then last Monday, while fetching the mail at the county road, I stuck my tongue out at my pesky neighbor, Marietta Bean, and I gave her a big raspberry like this. The vibration from my tongue flapping against my teeth popped that chomper of mine as loose as a goose on ice skates. So I told the world about my first tooth coming out, whether they wanted to hear it or not. By Thursday, that tooth was so wobbly, it was just hanging on by one root and a flap of skin. I could push it all the way out between my lips with my tongue and help Mama slop the hogs at the same time. Oreo, Mama said to me. Oreo's my nickname, just like the sweet cookie that I am. Don't go flop that tooth out while you're working. It reminds me of your cousin Cyrus before he got braces. So I kept that tooth inside my mouth, worrying it like mad with my tongue. Then on Friday, right after my big brother Bo Dean and my little sister Kelsey Ann got into a fight at the dinner table over whether Arlene Peterson's pigs really kneel and pray before they eat, that loose tooth of mine fell right out of my mouth, plop, and landed smack in the middle of my sketty. Mama said to be sure and put that tooth under my pillow. That way the tooth fairy could come get it and give me some money. Money! Shoot howdy! Mama didn't say how much, but I figured it had to be at least $1,000 or maybe even $100. I was so excited that I hurried to bed as quick as a dropped cat just so I could dream about all the things I was going to buy. But like I said, somebody stole my tooth. So I guess I dreamed all night for nothing. First thing this morning when I discovered the crime, I ran lickety-split to find Mama. She was in the root cellar up to her elbows in rutabagas. Mama! I exploded. Is the tooth fairy a crook like old Hester Jenkins that stole the parking meter from in front of the county courthouse? Mama jumped back, eyes as big as sausages. Why, no, Oreo. The tooth fairy is as honest as flowers in the spring. Well, that's what I thought, I fumed. Well, then somebody besides the tooth fairy stole my tooth. Somebody so crooked they screw their socks on every morning. And when I catch 'em, I'm going to open up a can of gotcha and send 'em airmail to the moon. Mama looked at me real hard. Oreo, she said, I don't think anybody would steal your tooth. Maybe the tooth fairy is putting it on a string with other teeth to make a beautiful necklace. That's what I've heard she does. She probably just forgot to leave you some money, and she'll remember tonight. Well, that didn't seem very likely to me. What good is a tooth fairy that forgets? Why don't you go ask your daddy, Mommy suggested, seeing how upset I was. Maybe he knows something we don't. Aha, I thought. He's a real thinker, that Dada. Why, he even sells watermelons to the grocery store. He knows might near everything. I heard Dada before I spied him. He was out by the tire swing, shaving and singing all at the same time, which is mighty dangerous if you ask me. Half of his face was shaving cream, and the other half was as smooth as a baby's belly, as he liked to say. Dada! I yelled. Some crook stole my tooth, and when I catch him, I'm going to open up a can of gotcha and send him airmail to the moon. Dada looked at me real hard. Oreo, he said, I don't think anybody would steal your tooth. Maybe the tooth fairy has it and is grinding it up to make a bit in a big machine. That tooth dust might come out as money. And then the tooth fairy could use it to buy you some real estate, like one of them condominiums at Miami Beach. Dada sauntered over to the back porch steps and he sat down. He was thinking about the tooth fairy, money machines, and condominiums, I figured. Yeah, tooth dust, Dada said. Tooth dust? I kind of shouted. But Dada, somebody stole my tooth. Dada rubbed his chin and nodded. Well, why don't you go ask your little brother? He usually knows more than he tells. Aha, I thought, heading for the barnyard. My brother Bodine is as ornery as a bull in a beehive. And he lost 2 teeth last week when he fell out of the hayloft. I'll bet he stole my tooth and glued it straight into his mouth. I'm going to get that boy, I vowed, and when I do, I'm going to open up a can of gotcha and send him airmail to the moon. I didn't steal your tooth, Oreo, Brother Bodine said calmly, crawling out from under the corn crib. What would I want with a girl tooth anyway? They don't fit boys. Well, I hadn't thought of that. Are you sure you didn't just give it to the tooth fairy? No money down? Why would I do such a thing? I demanded to know. Why, that's just stupid. Bodine eyed the hen house. He was looking for his pet snake, Fluff. The tooth fairy saves teeth to give to babies. Right, Oreo? Well, not according to Mama or Dada, she don't. Well, according to me, Bodine Cotton, she does. That's so they can chew on rocks and shoes and stuff. Bodine, you're ornery, I reminded him, talking about babies like that. Yep, he whispered as he snuck in the hen house door. But I'm right. Where do you think Sister Kelsey Ann got her teeth when she was little? Ha! I thought. Maybe Bodine has a point. Kelsey Ann is as ornery as Bodine plus 10. She had to be the one that stole my tooth. I'll get that little diddle-do, I roared. The tooth fairy? Bodine asked, sticking his head out of the chicken house, fluff in one hand, scared hairy chickens squawking and flying everywhere. No! Kelsey Ann Cotton, I snapped, and when I do, I'm going to open up a can of gotcha and send her airmail to the moon. Kelsey Ann Cotton, I yelled up the backyard apple tree. Give me my tooth! I know you stole it. Pig feathers, she said, hanging upside down from her knees on a tree limb. I'm as sweet as roses in the snow. The tooth fairy steals teeth, not me. She makes them into doorknobs. Didn't you even know that, Oreo? Not according to Mama, Dada, or Bodine, she doesn't. You took it, I shrieked. She does too, because I didn't, Kelsey Ann snipped. Does not, and you did. Does too, and I didn't. Does not, and you did. Kelsey Ann giggled. I bet you threw it away, Oreo. Probably in the bottom of the garbage can, stuck in the middle of a blob of leftover sketty. That's how forgetful you are. That tooth's going to be a doorknob. That did it. I was so mad I was ready to scream. Nobody really knew what the tooth fairy was up to. Nobody was a bit of help. And nobody was the lop-eared rascal that stole my truth. I was just about to pop my cork clean out of Crabapple Orchard. That's how mad I was. But instead, I just stood there looking at my upside-down sister, and I started crying. Loud and long, big tears streaming down my face, tasting like salt. I didn't want to cry. I just couldn't stop. Now, we Cottons banter, shout, squabble, and argue at one another a fair amount, just like any self-respecting family. But if it ever comes to a cotton ball and real tears of grief, the rest come a-running to help hey-ho howdy in a flash. Dada, Mama, Bodine, Kelsey Ann, and even my pesky little neighbor, Marietta Bean, they were all at my side in 5 seconds flat. Somebody stole my tooth! I sobbed, crying harder than ever. And when I catch him, I'm going to open up a can of gotcha and send him airmail to the moon! And I stuck my hands deep down in my pockets, trying to look like I meant it. My name is Airmail Cotton of Crabapple Orchard. My face is hot. My toes are curling. And right now, I feel like a possum up a plum tree. I'm as embarrassed as a zebra without stripes. You see, there's this little hard thing in the bottom of my pants pocket. It's right there where I left it. I wonder if the tooth fairy ever sends motor mouth kids like me airmail to the moon. Little Laura May Cotton. I hope you enjoyed that. I know one of our favorite things when the kids were little was when the tooth fairy would come, and she always left a tiny little note, so tiny that you had to get a magnifying glass out to read it. Sometimes she left a quarter or two as well, but those little notes, those were the best. I hope you enjoyed that story as much as I enjoyed reading it to you. Have a great day, everybody.